They put you in a big black box and cover you up with dirt and rocks. All goes well for about a week, then your coffin begins to leak. The worms crawl in, the worms crawl out, the worms pay pinnacle on your snout. They eat your eyes, they eat your nose, they eat the jelly between your toes. Ugh, I'm grossing myself out. Ugh. A big green worm with rolling eyes crawls in your stomach and out your eyes. Your stomach turns a slimy green and pus pours out like whipping cream. Why did I choose this? You spread it on like a slice of bread, and that's when you eat when you're dead. Could not get enough of that as an elementary school student.
Here goes, The Absolutely True Diary of a Part-Time Indian by Sherman Alexie. Reasons challenged, violence, bad language, and sexual content. You read a book for the story, for each of its words, Gordy said. And you draw your cartoons for the story, for each of the words and images. And yeah, you need to take that seriously. But you should also read and draw because really good books and cartoons give you a boner. I was shocked. Did you just say books should give me a boner? Yes, I did. Are you serious? Yeah. Don't you get excited about books? I don't think you're supposed to get that excited about books. You should get a boner. You have to get a boner, Gordy shouted. Come on. We ran into the Reardon High School library. Look at all these books, he said. There aren't that many, I said. It was a small library in a small high school in a small town. There are 3,412 books here, Gordy said. I know that because I counted them. Okay, now you're officially a freak, I said. Yes, it's a small library. It's a tiny one. But if you read one of these books a day, it would still take you almost 10 years to finish. What's your point? The world, even the smallest parts of it, is filled with things you don't know. Wow, that was a huge idea. Any town, even one as small as Reardon, was a place of mystery. And that meant Well-Pinnet, the smaller Indian town, was also a place of mystery. Okay, so it's like each of these books is a mystery. Every book is a mystery. And if you read all of the books ever written, it's like you've read one giant mystery. And no matter how much you learn, you keep on learning. So much more you need to learn. Yes, 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 Gordy said. Now, doesn't that give you a boner? I am rock hard, I said.
After dinner, Baba took me to a bar across the street from the restaurant. The place was dim, and the acrid smell of beer I'd always disliked permeated the walls. Men in baseball caps and tank tops played pool, clouds of cigarette smoke hovering over the green tables, swirling in the fluorescent light. We drew looks, Baba in his brown suit and me in pleated slacks and a sports jacket. We took a seat at the bar next to an old man, his leathery face sickly in the blue glow of the Michelob sign overhead. Baba lit a cigarette and ordered us beers. Tonight I am too much happy, he announced to no one and everyone. Tonight I'm drinking with my son. And one, please, for my friend, he said, patting the old man on the back. The old fellow tipped his hat and smiled. He had no upper teeth. Baba finished his beer in 3 gulps and ordered another. He had 3 before I forced myself to drink a quarter of mine. By then he had bought the old man a scotch and treated a foursome of pool players to a pitcher of Budweiser. Men shook his hand and clapped him on the back. They drank to him. Someone lit his cigarette. Baba loosened his tie and gave the old man a handful of quarters. He pointed to the jukebox. Tell him to play his favorite songs, he said to me. The old man nodded and gave Baba a salute. Soon country music was blaring, and just like that, Baba had started a party. At one point, Baba stood, raised his spear, spilling it on the sawdust floor, and yelled, "Fuck the Russia!" The bar's laughter and its full-throated echo followed. Baba bought another round of pictures for everyone. When we left, everyone was sad to see him go. Kabul.
Best of all, it has its very own zoo. Everyday families of all kinds go to visit the animals that live there. And you can kind of see Central Park. But children and their parents aren't the only families at the zoo. The animals make families of their own. There are red panda bear families with mothers and fathers and furry red panda bear cubs. There are monkey dads and monkey moms raising noisy monkey babies. There are toad families and toucan families and cotton-top tamarin families too. And in the penguin house, there are penguin families. Every year at the same time, the girl penguins start noticing the boy penguins, and the boy penguins start noticing the girls. When the right girl and the right boy find each other, they become a couple. Aww. Two penguins in the penguin house were a little bit different. One was named Roy, and the other was named Silo. Roy and Silo were both boys, but they did everything together. They bowed to each other, they walked together, they sang to each other and swam together. Everywhere Roy went, Silo went too. That's some real stuff. They didn't spend much time with the girl penguins, and the girl penguins didn't spend much time with them. Instead, Roy and Silo wound their necks around each other. Their keeper, Mr. Gramsey, noticed the two penguins and thought to himself, they must be in love. Roy and Silo watched how the other penguins made a home. So they built a nest of stones for themselves. Every night, Roy and Silo slept there together, just like the other penguin couples. I know, it's already getting my allergies going. And every morning, Roy and Silo woke up together. But one day, Roy and Silo saw that the other couples could do something they could not. The mama penguin would lay an egg. She and the papa penguin would take turns keeping the egg warm until finally it would hatch, and then there would be a baby penguin. Roy and Silo had no egg to sit on or keep warm. They had no baby chick to feed or cuddle or love. Their nest was nice, but it was a little empty. One day, Roy found something that looked like what the other penguins were hatching, and he brought it to their nest. It was only a rock, but Silo carefully sat on it and sat. And sat. When Silo got sleepy, he slept. And when that's right. And sat. When Silo got sleepy, he slept. And when Silo was done sleeping and sitting, he swam and Roy sat. Day after day, Silo and Roy sat on their rock, but nothing happened. Mr. Gramsey got an idea. He found an egg that needed to be cared for, and he brought it to Roy and Silo's nest. Roy and Silo knew just what to do. They moved the egg to the center of their nest. Every day they turned it so each side stayed warm. Some days Roy sat while Silo went for food, and other days it was Silo's turn to take care of their egg. They sat in the morning and they sat at night. They sat through lunchtime and swim time and supper. They sat at the beginning of the month and they sat at the end of the month, and they sat all days in between. Until one day they heard a sound coming from inside their egg. Peep, 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 it said. Roy and Silo called back. Squawk, 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 squawk. Peep, peep, answered the egg. Suddenly a tiny hole appeared in the egg's shell. And then, crack, out came their baby, their very own baby. She had fuzzy white feathers and a funny black beak. Now Roy and Silo were fathers. We'll call her Tango, Mr. Gramsey said, because it takes two to make a tango. Roy and Silo taught Tango how to sing for them when she was hungry. They fed her food from their beaks. They snuggled her in their nest at night. Tango was the very first penguin in the zoo to have two daddies. It's my contacts, you know. Soon Tango grew strong enough to leave the nest. Roy and Silo took her for a swim just like all the other penguin families. And all the children who came to the zoo could see Tango and her two fathers playing in the penguin house with the other penguins. Hooray, Roy! Hooray, Silo! Welcome, Tango! They cheered. At night, the 3 penguins returned to their nest. There they snuggled together, and like all the other penguins in the penguin house, and all the other animals in the zoo, and all the families in the big city around them, they went to sleep. Thank you.
Christopher Beaumont, creative writing course lead and English faculty. Thank you to all the readers and all of you that came to watch today. I stand in awe. I paraphrase Faulkner a lot, more like stealing, and say that I'm electric with gratitude. So this is what I wrote yesterday. It's real brief. To all of you, be brave, take chances, find your voice in the myriad cacophonies that is the world today. Don't just come to school in zombie haze. Find new ways to think. See the world. Let yourself leap and let that net appear. Forget about your grades and focus on the work. Forget about it being work and find yourself. Find your present. Find your future presence. Find your path and let it lead you to things unknown, unpredictable, frightening, rewarding. The choice is yours. Don't let anything, anyone tell you different or impede your dreams.